the entry of the gymnasts. First 5 pieces of apparatus. Just to repeat for you: the floor, the pommel horse, the rings for the men, the vault and the asymmetric bars for the women. They've broken the qualifiers for these semi-finals down into 3 groups. The biggest group, I think, looking down the list, is probably the men's pommel horse. 19 have qualified for that, and Valeri Belenki, the reigning world champion, also qualified, and he's decided, as he's allowed to do, that he will give what will in fact be a demonstration display this evening. He just wants to get into the feel of things. I think it's rather tough on these gymnasts not to get into the competitive environment. They've worked the rules out for this new competition in quite a strange way in some ways, and the champion going straight to the final without competing. It's very nice to have the buffer of knowing you're there already, but on the other hand, the other gymnasts will have had the advantage, as some see it, of just honing their skills by competing under competitive conditions, in effect twice on the piece of apparatus before they get to the final. So the champions here at the semi-final stage allowed to come in at the end. They'll be the last up, and they can go for it. As always in gymnastics, once the gymnasts are in the arena, they're allowed a period of warm-up. This stage of the competition operates, for those who are familiar with the way gymnastics competitions go, as competition 2. That means that, as always, the women have 2 vaults, but the men only have 1. When they actually get into the final, it becomes competition 3, and the men as well as the women will have 2 vaults, and it will be the average score of those 2 that counts. At this stage, the women have the 2 vaults, but it's the better one of the 2 that counts. Still the warm-up, the Chinese looking very strong indeed. Really seem to have got their gymnasts going again. Guo Lin Yao and Li Jing, both through to this semi-final stage for them on the pommel horse. That's Stella Ume we've just seen on the vault, and warming up on the parallel on the asymmetric bars. Julianne Monaco from Australia. She's drawn 5 in this group of 6. The Australians have made a tremendous breakthrough in the world of gymnastics, particularly in the women's competition. They finished 6th in Indianapolis as a team, and that represented a massive breakthrough. Never been anywhere near the top 10 before. So the bell goes to signal the end of warm-up. So Kalofa Christosov from Bulgaria, the first to go in the semi-final stage of these new style world championships, the specialist apparatus championships, and Christosov, one of the most experienced gymnasts here. 11th in the Goodwill Games in 1990. His team 10th in the World Championships in Indianapolis, and he was 17th in the all-around. Working well, a little low over the pommels, but a good rhythm. Into the flares, up into that double pirouette and dismount. Safely through it. It'll be very interesting to see how much new content the gymnasts bring into their exercises. At this stage, there were an awful lot of falls in the elimination section. There, the spindles in Thomas Flares performed in the saddle of the horse. Most difficult place to work in terms of keeping the height above the handles, then onto the end. And he's in perfect control right to the end. Tall, elegant gymnast. And he starts with 9.575. The women's asymmetric bars down this side of the arena with the men's pommel. Onto the A-bars. Martina Kukarikova from Czechoslovakia. Good transfer between the two bars. One of the things the judges are looking for, and the full in, back out dismount. Scored 9.825 in the elimination stage. Those qualifying scores don't count for anything now. They count only to qualifying, but show you how high the standard was in the A-bars. With 9.825, she only just scraped in to the final right at the last moment, in fact, as a reserve. It's strange, with 5 pieces of apparatus all going on around the stadium, suddenly everything comes to a halt. And Up onto floor goes Marc Meyer from France. One of the older gymnasts, really becoming a veteran now. He's just turned 26 years old, and that really is an old man in gymnastics terms. Double layout back and works out of it. But you can see what an apparatus specialist he is. This is the competition that lets these people in. Touching his hands down as he worked out of the double straight back and into the double tuck back. But what a complicated combination that would have been if he'd pulled it off. He's been around a long time. He was a reserve for the World Championships in Rotterdam and a reserve again in Stuttgart in '89, reserve for the Olympic Games. Never quite making the team because he wasn't a good enough all-rounder. But you can see he's a real floor specialist. A full in back out finish there for him. Really is some tumbler. There's that start, the double layout. Now that's the middle tumble run, and then through into front drop. Meyer waits patiently. .2, that reflecting that fall on his first tumbling run. His big chance, and he's blown it. He really can't expect to make the final now, and I think he might have had hopes. Yukio Ikatani from Japan. About to go on floor. Here's a man with a medal chance at his best. Excellent. He's already won bronze at the Olympic Games in Seoul in 1988. 13th in the all-arounds in Indianapolis, but didn't get into the floor final on that occasion. Beautifully landed. Real height, real lift in that double straight back. So there was good control. Almost lost it from those straight fronts, but held on. Trains 6 hours a day, this man. Double tuck back again. The quality of the landings and the tightness of the tucks and the definition of the body positions, excellent. little step forward there on the landing, but that's a really good exercise from Iketani. It nearly went there, but he got his feet back underneath him and controlled it. That was the crisis point of the exercise. Born in Tokyo, still lives there, and his trainer, Kajiyama. Iketani, 21 years old now. Made 3 finals in Indianapolis, 6 on rings, 6 on vault, and 8 in the high bar final. That's Li Xiaoshuang from China. And Iketani's score has come up 9.45. Now Li Xiaoshuang, again a man who'll be looking for medals. Oh, what wonderful lift. What the Japanese do so well, they don't anchor them sometimes. A little double lazy twist there. Just thrown in for good measure. And look at that. Look at the pace of the Thomas flares and then the split leg pirouettes on his hands. Fourth in the all-around, just missed out on the medals in Indianapolis. And fourth in the rings, but didn't make the floor final there. China, the team that finished second. The double layout back, straight back finish as well. And he had lots of strength left. Superb work from Li Xiaoshuang. Spectacular section of his exercise. Gets such pace into it, very, very difficult to keep his balance, but so positive. He's already thinking of his next piece of apparatus. Off comes the strapping, on go the socks. That's Jared Hanks from the USA waiting to go up on pommel. Long-legged, immediately showing a very good shape on the pommels, but it's going to make it that much more difficult for him to keep it going. Oh, no problems there. Lovely work. The front circle going from end to end, missing out the handles and the saddle. And Li Xiaoshuang scored 9.675 on floor. Jared Hanks doing very well to keep that going. A tall gymnast always makes the control of the body more difficult, but it does show it off well when you manage it. You can achieve the elegance that some of the others can't. Hank score 9.575. Same score as Pistazov. Concentration on vault. The second vault there from Melanie Legros. This is on tape. The French girl. Handspring front in the pike position. So hard to stop the rotation. Sorry, we're seeing both vaults. That was a first in this stage of the competition. 2 vaults, and it's the best of the 2 that count. She can either change the vault or do the same again. It's the same one, and that time she just stuck the landing a little better. The women vault with the horse crossways, the men with it lengthways. Good lift off the top. Judges looking for that flight off the top of the horse. And 9.775 puts her into 4th place. Well, this is still just the warm-up for the second group going on. We'll take a break there, but we'll be back for that second group in a moment. Welcome back. There, the familiar face of Valeri Belenki, the reigning world champion on the pommel horse, but here about to try and qualify for the rings final. And the even more familiar figure behind him, the man who has been the coach to the Soviet team, their mentor, the head of gymnastics there, Leonid Arkiev. He must be wondering what's going to happen. Certainly isn't getting the funding that he's used to. Belenki, strength section at the beginning of the rings exercise. The planches, the cross half lever. Incredibly powerful. Straight arm and just swings to handstand. Through the Hanma and back up to handstand. Twisting double back to finish. Very accurate. All the content needed in there, and very, very strong indeed. Two twists, two somersaults. Really whipping round, but totally in control all the time. That was a brief glimpse of Eva Rueda from Spain, just getting the asymmetric bars set up to her liking. Palenque weights 9.775, puts him into the lead. And up goes Rueda. The Jaeger somersault. Amazing gymnast. So powerful. Works so hard on her sport. Tkachev treats the asymmetric bars almost like the men's high bar. Giant circles. Building up to that dismount and a double layout, but there goes her chance of reaching the final. A fall on her dismount, didn't get the height. Mistimed her release from the top bar. Yeah, she was coming a bit too far forward. Needed a little bit of upward movement as she came off. There, the undergrasp. Jaeger somersault caught in overgrasp.
Ouais, c'est fait pourrir la petite.
Lavinia Milosevic. And Tatiana Lysenko from the Soviet Union leading on this piece of apparatus at the moment. Tkachev, the women finding that so easy now. Ooh, and just offline on that landing. It probably won't be that critical at the moment. She should qualify for the final, but it will, of course, be absolutely critical then. So tight on those close-ups. Hard to see the moves. Good to see. Lovely smile, though, from Lavinia Milosevic. And Eva Rueda score 9.287, the Spanish girl. We now wait for the score for Lavinia Milosevic. And there's the score. She goes into first place, 9.875. Grigoriy Mishutin. Ooh, and a little off balance. He's such an accurate worker. This, the all-around world champion. Now, he'll still be all-around world champion after this competition, because under this new format, there is no all-around in these apparatus world championships. And so he'll hold on to that at least until next year. Gold in the all-around, but didn't in fact make the final in the floor exercise. In Indianapolis. Double layout, and that was a beautiful landing. There he is, the man who's really able to call himself world champion. The best across the 6 pieces of apparatus last year at Indianapolis. Round off, Arabian dive roll, and then the leap. The little movements in the middle where the Soviets are so good, some of the other gymnasts neglect them a little. And lands the double back beautifully. And Mishutin only in 3rd place. That little mistake at the beginning costing him 9.6. The Chinese always so good on the asymmetric bars. Lu Li. Really needed that springboard. She's so tiny to get up onto that top bar. Pirouette. The Jaeger somersault. Had to work a bit to regain the momentum there, but goes through the catch-of move very easily. Now we've got the dismount. Oh, and landed beautifully. Superb work from Lu Li. Look at the care they're taking in putting Vitaly Scherbo up onto the rings. The silver medalist in the all-around in Indianapolis.
Men's result for exercise first round. First position Vitaly Scherbo 9.8, then Li Xiaochuang 9.35, Grigoriy Mishutin 9.6.
Crosses the rings over. Very distinctive original section from him. Oh, and lands beautifully, absolutely in control, just clicks his heels together. Vitaly Scherbo. And Lu Li takes the lead on the asymmetric bars, 9.887 with that superb exercise. So she's safely through to the final. You can guarantee that already. .9.8. Scherbo goes into the lead on the rings. Jared Hanks. He's waiting to go on floor. Remember, 5 pieces of apparatus going on simultaneously.
Sonuç